Hey, what's going on, guys? So, one of the ways to continue making progress as a mixer, as an engineer producer, is to constantly be listening to other records that are really well done. Great mixes, great productions, great engineering, unique sounds, all that stuff. We need to be listening, even if it's our favorite bands, we need to be checking out their newer records. And if you hear something that you like, if you think that something sounds really, really great, then find out who did it and then listen to more records by them and study them. Like, why do I like this so much? Why is it so good? And so recently, I was re-listening to the latest album from the band Architects, which I know came out a few months ago, and I was so impressed when I first heard that, and I wanted to do a video like this, but it just came on again as I was listening to music, and man, the mix on this record just absolutely slams. Like, it's just amazing, and it's by Zakk Cervini, and he's been absolutely crushing it, like in this whole kind of modern metalcore scene. He's working on like tons of bands, and every single mix is just fantastic. It's amazing. I absolutely love what he's doing. Let's just dive in, because I think just by checking out a few sections of a couple mixes here from Architects, there's a lot to learn and a few lessons that I want to pull out and really kind of help you guys figure out how you can be listening to albums and really learning just by listening to a great mix. So let's just check out a little section here from a song. First of all, number one, the reason why so much of this album sounds amazing is, first of all, the arrangement. The arrangement is really well done. You can hear, like, listen to how simple these drums are. It's just like 4 on the floor, kick, snare. He's not doing the double kick over top of all the guitars. So it's a bit of something different stylistically from a lot of heavy bands. But listen to how awesome this sounds. There's a lot of this kind of like stripped back drums, really just heavy, rhythmic, industrial vibe on this record, and they really have like kept it simple where it needs to be simple, and it's really just gotten their point across, for lack of a better way to say it here. So it sounds absolutely huge. I love how Zakk is mixing his guitars. I think for a bunch of years, kind of in the modern metalcore world, guitars were kind of like took a back seat, and then drums would be, really up front. Especially the more technical the band is, like the drums are almost like the focal point over the guitars. I like how in Zakk's mixes, the drums are still like really punchy, really intense, aggressive, in your face, everything you want out of heavy drums. Yet it sounds like he mixes more guitar forward than a lot of people, just a little bit. And I think that having the guitars up a little like that, it's kind of also like the way I try to mix, because I think just having loud guitars just adds so much energy and vibe to a mix. So listen to these guitars. They're like at this point in the song, in the intro here, they're like the driving force of this, which I love. If it was kind of mixed in that modern, really kind of sterile, technical way where the drums were up a lot more than the guitars, I think we'd lose a lot of impact here. The other thing I love about Zakk's mixing is it's aggressive. Like, he's mixing aggressively. You can tell he's trying to just bring out everything that is awesome about the song. He's not like caring about trying to make himself look cool or whatever. It's just like, what is great here, and how do we just maximize the impact of everything that's happening? So check out this song called Dead Butterflies, and I want to go to a few different sections here and show you kind of how Zakk is like really engaging the listener and adding a lot of excitement to the mix and the song as it unfolds. So check out this song when it kind of first kicks in the intro. Again, number one, arrangement, simple, like solid drums in the back holding down the fort, not distracting from the rest of the song. Again, simple guitars as well, but this horn section, this horn arrangement is like the star. And this mix, like Zakk mixes these horns loud in this intro. Like, they just jump out of the speakers, which is absolutely awesome. And you'll see how he does this elsewhere. He's almost pushing it to the point, or he is pushing it to the point where it's like, it's kind of almost unbalanced. Like a less experienced mixer might hear this and think, I pushed that a little too loud. I need to blend it in the mix a little more. But no, he's putting it right up front. Like, the point is that you want these horns to be in the listener's face. Like, you do not want them to miss anything about these horns. And he's making sure that happens here. Now, when we skip ahead to the first chorus, this same horn part comes back, but listen to where it's mixed now. Same thing in the second chorus. Actually, it sounded tiny bit louder in the second chorus there, but you can hear it compared to the intro. Listen to how loud the horns are. Now in the chorus. Obviously, he's tucked those in. That's a wise mixing decision. We've got lead vocals here. This is the chorus. We can't have these horns like overtaking the lead vocals. So they're more tucked in here for chorus 1, second chorus. Obviously, hopefully you would do that. You can't just leave a mix static. This is why automation is so important. Automation, this is the main thing that I want to pull out of these songs in this video for you. Really like serving the song at every section, every second, every 20-second, every verse, every chorus, every bridge, like really just like milking it for all it's worth and getting the perfect balance for that section. Not just setting your faders overall, because if he had just put the horns up loud for the intro, yeah, sounds great, and then just left that fader static for the rest of the song, it's going to ruin all the choruses. Now, with that in mind, listen to the end here. Bold move. Did you hear that? Listen, chorus, listen to the horns in the chorus where he's like doing the vocals the first time. Now listen to how much louder they are in the ending part here. Now there's still vocals here, but it's more of a mellow vocal part that has already happened multiple times in the song. The singer's already sang these words, this melody previously in the song, and this is like something to think about as you're mixing. By the time you get to chorus 3, and we're kind of doing mostly the same melody, the same lyrics and stuff, like the listener knows that part already. They're going to already be singing along with it. They already know it. It's repetitive. And so that gives you the opportunity to be more aggressive with other elements. You can hear how aggressive Zakk was with these horns, bringing them back in, making this last kind of post-chorus section here just huge with these horns and actually allowing them to kind of overtake the vocals a little bit, which just makes it all seem that much bigger. But he can't do that in the first chorus because the listener needs to get that part in their head first. Like that needs to be the spotlight first. The chorus, the vocals, the lyrics need to be the star the first time, the second time, but by the end, we can have other things competing with that. So that's absolutely awesome. A great example of automation, of pushing things, not trying to be safe and clinical. Again, a less experienced mixer might just make every single chorus the same and make sure that the horns are at the same level every single time that they come in. So let me show you one more great example that I love of automation and pulling out more intensity, adding intensity, and maintaining energy throughout a song. So this song is called Impermanence. Now let's listen to the chorus.
We're barricaded.
So again, I like how it's a guitar forward mix. It's intense, it's loud, it's aggressive, but the vocal is still, very much on top of the mix and is the star. Now it's gonna head into a really heavy breakdown section here. Listen to what happens. I'll just play it and then I'll explain it later. Did you hear how massive this breakdown sounds? Absolutely amazing. Sounds absolutely huge, but I'm going to play this again. Now listen to the level of the guitars. Actually, it's really like everything. The kick, the snare, the guitars, and the bass. You can, if you're focusing on this, you can hear the faders just go way up on all these instruments. Now, I don't know how much those things are being pushed up, but it sounds like, again, kick, snare, bass guitar, main rhythm guitars are just like, they're getting a huge push up, just volume-wise, when this breakdown hits. And this is really what I want to get across. Like, your mixes need to move. They need to be dynamic. You can't just set your faders and leave it there. Like, how boring would this be if you just left it? And you also can't always make like little tiny baby moves, okay? Like the end listener in their car or whatever, they're probably not gonna hear like a half a dB push up on stuff. Like, this is an aggressive move. That's why I love Zakk's mixes right now. I can't say enough good things about it. It's just, it's everything I love about great mixes. It's the way that I aspire to mix. It's the way that I try to mix too. And I just love how he's aggressive. He's not delicate with it at all. I mean, listen to this. It's almost like, oh my gosh, like he's just like, he's not afraid to push it. And I absolutely love it. Again and again and again and again and again. Again and again and again. Dare anyone live forever? Watch here. Think you're gonna get tucked back in. We are so lost, staring into all the color and explode reality. You can hear there's a gradual adjustment kind of back to the level, for the verses where there's vocals and everything, and you don't need everything to be so explosive. Tucks it back in. But again, if we compare like just jumping back and forth, listen to the guitars. Compared to this. Absolutely awesome. So I hope this little video was helpful for you. It's so important to be studying mixes. And yes, we just enjoy music as a listener, but as a mixer, as an engineer, like, really listen critically and pull out these subtle changes that make such a big difference, because what Zakk is doing on this, especially in terms of the automation and energy and pulling a listener through the song, so important. It's something that really only the top level of mixers know how to do really well like this. So I hope that this sheds some light about one of the reasons why this record sounds so fantastic and why Zakk is doing such a great job on so many mixes right now. So check out more of his work. There's a lot to learn from listening to his mixes and other great mixers that you love as well. And if you want to dive in a little deeper on this subject of automation and what I call in this case micro automation, I did a video about that right here to explain a little more and give a few more examples of how to pull this off in your mixes. Take care.